So here is the idea and the premise. What if financial freedom, financial independence didn't cost you anything? When would you like to begin? Everyone say immediately, right away, right? Imagine you could create financial security, financial independence without spending any extra money on a monthly basis. Now, that's not free, but it's about as close to free as you can get because most people already have what they need. In other words, we're going to show you how to strategically redirect dollars you're already spending to create freedom. Most people just don't know where those dollars are hiding, and we show them how to uncover them. And I think when it comes to suspend your disbelief for just a moment, what we mean by that is a lot of people say, well, if this is so great, how come I never heard of it before? Well, there's a lot of things that are great that we've never heard of before. And I don't know the answer to that, but thank goodness you're here today to hear about it, right? So what I'm going to share with you might not sound possible, but it absolutely is. So please just suspend your disbelief for just a moment. I want you to really think about what if everyone on the planet that has income, right, is able to create financial security and financial independence just by redirecting the dollars they already spend, okay? A little bit about me, 30 years in the business. I am a certified financial planner. I am a retirement income certified professional. I'm registered with the Securities and Exchange Commission as a fee-based fiduciary. And we run an independent agency on the investment, insurance, and financial planning side. So the question that changes everything is if you could reach financial freedom using money you already spend, would you? And of course, you want to type in the chat on that one, a big capital Y for yes. Of course you would. The truth is financial independence isn't just about earning more money. It's about being smarter with the money you already have. So today we're going to show you exactly how we can make that happen. Okay. And Ellen, if you watch the door, that would be great. So it all started with an idea. And our vision is clear: to revolutionize how Americans save and eliminate the hidden forces that destroy their wealth over time. Because if we destroy all of the things that sidetrack, derail folks, and that we eliminate them all from their life, they will all win by default. What are we talking about? Eliminating risk, fees, debt, interest, as much as we can, taxes, and procrastination, the biggest killer of all. These 5 wealth killers work against you every single day. What if we could eliminate or mitigate or greatly reduce all of those? It would make winning by default much simpler. Unfortunately, most people, we live in one of the wealthiest nations in the world and one of the wealthiest nations in history, but yet most of our people fail financially, right? According to Social Security, out of 100 people reach age 65, only 1% is wealthy, 4% are okay, 95% are struggling to get by, and many are living in poverty. So why do we have a 95% failure rate when it comes to finance? No financial education, no financial game plan, no financial coach. This, by the way, creates a tremendous opportunity for us. So what are we talking about? Redirecting money you already spent, okay? Here's the breakthrough. Wealth is not just about earning more, it's about strategically redirecting the money you already spent. So instead of sending those dollars to the banks, to the lenders, and to the IRS, what if you could capture them and have them grow, compound, tax-free for your family? Stop losing wealth, eliminate debt, interest, and unnecessary taxes, redirect wasted dollars, channel those into much more efficient and effective growth strategies, and transform your money and turn it into compounding wealth. This is what a typical household pie chart looks like for their expenses. See, the big one here in red is taxes. We've got the mortgage, we've got consumer debt, car loans, college loans, student loans, and then this light blue is lifestyle, and then we got this tiny little sliver of savings, and then we have insurance. What if we could take a small slice out of each one of these pieces of the pie and direct it into savings. We could also direct some into lifestyle as well, but we could easily direct more money into savings. So that's the big picture, taking those dollars and redirecting them. And we like to say it's like plugging the holes in your money bucket, right? And not only are you losing that money, you're losing that interest, but you're losing the opportunity to have that money grow. So our mission, our roadmap to financial freedom, number one, is to find those dollars where those dollars are leaking away, redirect them with purpose, and then accelerate your path. And we'll talk a little bit about at the end how to really accelerate this. So the real cost of $300 per month is not just the $300 per month that you may be spending that may be going out the door, but it's also lost opportunity cost. Because if you were able to save that $300 and invest it at just an 8% rate of return, after 10 years, it's $54,000, 20 years, 176. After 30 years, it's $500,000. The magic of compound interest. This is how wealth actually gets built. So we like the concept of becoming your own bank, a family bank, right? The most powerful bank in the world is not Bank of America. It is your bank, your personal bank, your family bank. And master the principles, by the way, that the banks have been using for generations to build wealth. Stop those unnecessary transfers and those lost opportunity costs, right? And with no additional out of pocket, right? So it's keeping more of what you already make. Let's talk for a minute about opportunity costs, because when you transfer away a dollar, you not only transfer away that dollar, but that dollar is gone forever. And the opportunity of earning any interest or any earnings on that or any growth on that is gone forever. Okay, so what you could have earned if you had avoided losing or transferring that money away, unnecessarily and unknowingly transferring that money away. So it doesn't just cost you the dollar, it costs you every dollar it could have earned as well. And that is a flat out fortune. It's a massive wealth transfer over the course of your lifetime. In your life, you finance everything you buy, even if you pay cash. Whether you realize it or not, you finance every purchase you make. You're either paying interest to someone else, bank, lender, finance company, credit card, or giving up that interest that you could have earned by paying cash. Leasing is the same thing, right? When you pay cash, the interest that the money could have earned is forfeited forever. Again, that's opportunity cost in action. So let's talk about the typical family's financial reality. Consider the average American household. They have cars financed, they have homes financed, they have student loans financed, they have significant credit card debt, maybe home equity loan, 30-year mortgage. The typical family spends 34% of their income paying interest to creditors. What if you could get back every penny of principal, interest, and opportunity cost on all your major purchases? Homes, cars, boats, education, weddings, so on. By the way, this makes a great college plan. It's great for business owners and anything else that could be financed. Well, I want to just pick one, cars, right? Financing cars, the hidden wealth drain. We all know that buying cars cost us a ton of money, but we never really figured out exactly how much it cost us. Over a lifetime, the interest paid on the cars plus the opportunity accounts for a very significant wealth transfer. Whether you lease or pay cash, you still face opportunity costs. There is a much, much better way to do that. Here's the real solution. The answer lies not in what you buy, but how you buy it. So we're not talking about buying fewer cars or less expensive cars. We're talking about how do you finance that? And again, by creating your own bank to do it. So let's give a real world example. Here's the scenario. 40-year-old couple purchase one new vehicle every 4 years at $30,000 each. And they continue to do that, and they continue to drive until age 80 because they live in Florida and they can get away with it, right? Over 10 years, that's 10 new cars. Now, we have made some assumptions here, no money down. We have assumed that inflation is not a factor, which but not very realistic, just keeps the numbers simple, right? But we do know that prices will rise in the future, which makes this very conservative assumptions much, much more compelling. 8% return, 8% opportunity cost, and 8% loan finance. You can, change these numbers a little bit here and there, but the numbers still work out to be the same. An incredible transfer of wealth. So here's the shocking total. $300,000 in principal on the cost of the 10 vehicles, $51,000 in interest paid, and another nearly $300,000 in lost opportunity cost. We want to capture principal, interest, and opportunity cost and put it in your bank. That's $648,000 over that 40-year time frame. Now, if you're younger than age 40, it would be more. If you had 2 cars in the family, it would be twice that. You could see that this could be easily hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not millions of dollars difference. And again, not buying fewer cars, not buying less expensive cars, buying the exact same cars, just financing it differently. So that's a ton of money. The more cars you add to it, of course, the greater the loss. Imagine if you can get every one of those pennies back in interest. And one of the things I say to folks, especially if you're making car payments or loan payments or credit card payments or those sorts of things, every time you write out that check, it's almost like you went to the kitchen window and took a bucket full of cash and threw it out the window. So becoming the bank is our solution, building an account that allows you to withdraw funds, pay cash for your next car, pay yourself back, capturing all the principal and all of the interest. You can self-finance all of your purchases, cars, boats, colleges, everything. Some of the reasons to build your bank, well, you have instant access to your money. There's no penalties, there's no waiting, there's no taxes, there's no application. You are the president of the bank and make all the decisions, right? The complete control, the government, your employer, no one outside has nothing to say about how you operate your bank. It gives you great asset protection from creditors, lawsuits, judgments. And again, you don't have to qualify to get your money. Your money works double duty. So not only is the money in your bank growing, as if you hadn't borrowed a cent, your money gets double duty dollars. And we can dig into the details of exactly how this works on a later call. I wanted you to get the big idea, the big concept here of what we were doing. And again, recover those purchase costs, as we talked about before, principal and interest back into your account and all of the interest as well. Some people use it to prepay healthcare costs, inflation protected income for the future, and an emergency safety net for those unseen life events that throw you off. Again, we want it to grow totally tax-free, so it accumulates tax-free, accesses tax-free, and grows tax-free. By the way, this is tied to the stock market, although it's not in the stock market, which means you get the upside potential of the stock market with no downside risk, and provide a lasting legacy for your family to be able to not only build that wealth, but also to pass that on tax-free to your family. Does the strategy actually work? It's used by all the major banks. The method is actively used by many major banks as the cornerstone of their financial strategy. Billions of dollars, and we're using specially designed insurance programs to do this. Okay. Working capital, they use it as a major source of working capital. They call it tier 1 capital in the banking world. So if this strategy is good enough for the most sophisticated financial institutions in the world, would it be good enough for your family? Type a big yes in the chat if you think it's good for people, good for families. These are the numbers. Bank of America, $24 billion in this program. Wells Fargo, 18, 12 million. You kind of get the idea that the banks own it themselves, right? So this is not a secret strategy. It's a proven wealth building tool that's used at the highest levels of finance, and wealthy folks have been using it for many, many decades. So financial freedom is a lot closer than you think. You need awareness, intention, action. The money is already there, hiding in plain sight. Now, we go through in our analysis when we work with our clients to find that money for them. Now, I have 101 ways, but I usually use the Fast 11. The Fast 11 ways is 11 ways to find $100 or more per month in the average person's budget. By the way, if you find $100 11 ways, that's $1,100 a month found on unnecessarily, unknowingly being transferred away, either in taxes, either in interest, in debt, so on, right? So my recommendation is start today. If you have an interest in learning more about this, get with the person that introduced you to our webinar, to our video, and get more details on how it all works. Again, I want to say that I'm very happy that you suspended your disbelief long enough, and I would also encourage you to find, if this intrigued you at all, to dig deeper and find out more about it. The question isn't whether you can afford financial freedom. The question is, can you afford not to get started today? We do have a website that you can join our website. It's free. We provide consumer information. We also provide master classes for financial advisors as well. And you can go to that at www.mynlfa.com and become part of our website and our training site. That is the consumer portion of what we're doing. Oh, this is what some of the courses look like, and we're adding courses all the time as well. Now, by the way, I want to switch gears for just a moment and say we had early in the slides was how to accelerate your path to financial freedom, financial independence. And one of the ways to do that, just quite simply, is to share this idea with other people, right? Let's say you look at this and you say, man, this is fantastic. I love it. This works great for me and my family. Wouldn't you want to tell other friends, family, neighbors, and so on? And by the way, when you do that, there's a way that you can get paid to do that. And small little inputs can have big big impact, life-changing options. And we don't want to get crazy with our numbers. We don't want to get crazy with our numbers, but here's a way to accelerate your path to independence. With just a handful of referrals, 1 or 2 quality referrals on a monthly basis, what would that look like? Well, on a part-time basis, that could be life-changing for some folks. That could be an extra $500 to $1,500 per client. We're being very super conservative with these numbers. A little bit of effort and a little bit of referrals, $1,000 to $3,000 is absolutely not unheard of. And getting a little bit deeper into it, an extra $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 a year part-time is certainly very, very doable. You know, building a small team does also, by the way, if they become referral agents, you can get paid on their referrals as well. So team overrides could be easily $3,000, $5,000 a month with a very small team of people. Personal production could be $8,000 to $10,000 a month. And if you start compounding that, if you put that into your bank and started compounding that, that is the way to greatly accelerate. So it doesn't have to take you the next 10, 20, 30 years to create financial independence. You can shortcut that 3, 5, 7, 10 years, etc. That's the power of leverage. And why small teams win? It's much easier to manage and support a small team of people. I recommend starting with small teams of people and kind of going from there. Okay. All right. So what that can mean for your family, of course, is early retirement or freedom. You don't necessarily have to retire. It just means that you get to choose what you do every day, right? If you want to work, you can work. You can spend more time with your family. You can walk away from stressful situations. You know, that old, you tell the boss to take this job, and what was the rest of that? Maybe put it in the chat.
Shove it.
There we go.
Sorry. Yeah.
Flexibility to live fully, freedom of service. You know, you could now be giving back to your community. You could be doing more things to help others and animals and all kinds of great things. So I recommend starting small, scaling strategically, and living fully. Now, I'm going through these quickly. If you'd like a copy of these slides, just let us know. We'd be happy to give them to you. I'm not going to dive too deep into other compensation that's available, whether it's trips and rewards and bonuses and so on. I'd say start at the most basic level. See if it works for you, because if it doesn't work for you or you're not thrilled with it, I think you'd have a hard time talking to other people about it. Okay. So the families you serve today become your legacy tomorrow. The income you build creates options for generation. The business you establish transforms not just your financial picture, but your entire quality of life, and could be for generations to come. I want to thank you for your time and your attention. And I'm going to click off the recorder.